world is getting hotter. We all know that in it glaciers are melting. Just look at Alaska. Alaska in March is supposed to be cold. Along the north and west coast, the ocean should be frozen farther than the eye can see. In the state interior, rivers should be locked in ice. Some think that they doubled as roads for snowmobiles and trucks. But in previous summer, a record-breaking heatwave upended, topping out at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Dozens of other cities forecasted dangerous and prolonged summers in upcoming years. Scientists assumed that temperature in US could be about doubled in 30 years. Well, why is that? Why summers in US could be deadly by 2050? By near 2050, every season in every city and town in America will shift drastically as average temperatures creep up along with highs and lows. So of these changes, like summers in the southwest warming up by 4 degrees Fahrenheit on an average, this will mean stretches of days where it's hot. It will be even dangerous to go outside. Heat waves around the country could last up to months. Winters will lose days in the coming 20s and 30s. Rain and snowstorms will be more intense and frequent in some places and less predictable and lighter in others. You may be thinking that an average increase of a few degrees to your summer and winter doesn't seem that bad, but buried in these averages are extreme weather events, heat waves, severe rainstorms and droughts that will be more damaging and dangerous than the smaller shifts in averages. In California, for instance, the average temperature shifts will be more subtle, but new climate models show there will be more frequent swings from severe to intense rain to extreme drought that will put extra stresses on dams and farmers. The scenario for future emission we use to predict the weather in 2050 assumes that we will continue to burn fossil fuels at the same rate and that the world will have warmed on an average by 2 degrees centigrade or 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, researchers predict that it is still possible to limit average global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, the more ambitious target under the Paris Climate Agreement this century. But to do so, we will need to drastically cut the emissions of those gases in the next 12 years. Well, it's essential that we take every possible step now to reduce emissions to avoid the worst outcomes in the coming decades and centuries. This means immediately accelerating all the tools we already are using to decarbonize the energy system and developing many new ones, like better technologies to remove carbon from the atmosphere. Scientists have also claimed the future of the global climate, presuming the world takes moderate to aggressive action to curb greenhouse gas emissions. As individuals, we can buy less, fly less and drive less. We can start planning and preparing from now for the warmer future. While talking about climate change and predictions, it is assumed that animal behavior can be used for predicting earthquakes and natural disasters. Well, that seems to be another story of why.